Live. Hey, good morning, all. Good morning, all. On this bright Sunday. Well, it's a big one, and it's one of the biggest North London derbies in in a while. And I think it's also because of where both teams are, one in the table to the other. And it's one of them ones where form goes out the window today. I mean, yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it. But I'm feeling some vibes in myself. I'm never nervous, but you know what? Here to share the those vibes and the nerves. We got Nick Geeks. How you doing, my man?
Good morning, Bren. I hope you're well. Hey everyone. Yeah, another North London derby. Eager for this one. I think both teams are in desperate need of a win and 3 points. Tottenham are winless in like 6. We are winless in 2. So we need to get some points on the board. They need to get points on the board. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I think so too. Be a tough game today. And we've also got Dermatron in the house. How are you?
He's not ready. He's still loading.
Oh, you know what? That's fine because I wanted to introduce this guy last actually for his debut on the channel. That's why I went to Dermatron first. You know what I mean? But we will go. But making his debut, and it's a junior in the house. We got Darius 3K. How are you,
Morning,
my man?
boys. You know what? Surprisingly, more confident for a North London derby day than I have been for a long time. But you know what? Really, really glad to be here. Good to discuss this game, discuss football on this great platform. So yeah, nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you, Brent. Nice to meet you, Nick. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I might be a little bit happier again this afternoon. I woke up with a little bit of a spring. I don't know why. I'm in a dire situation right now, but I woke up with a little bit of a spring in my step. So you know what? It is the hope that kills you. And as a Spurs fan, you know that all too well. So surprisingly, I'm doing all right today. I'm doing all right.
Good.
Wicked. Yeah, because I've gone with a bit of juju today in terms of now you know what it is because I said to Dermot that I said I'll be free to go on his watch along. So he's been on our watch alongs in the past from the football takeover and all of that. So Army TV days, and I thought, you know what?
You're going to return it.
I'm going to return it. Hey, are you there? Is the legendary guy there?
I am. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab some breakfast as well at the same time.
No worries. No. It's all good. You know, how are you? Feeling good?
Nervous.
Oh, bless.
I am nervous but excited, and we're going to whip you today. North London's going to be white.
Here we go.
You Arsenal boys are going to get a rude awakening when you walk into that stadium at 4:30 this afternoon. It's going to be like a wall of noise. You don't know what's going to hit you. Gabriel's going to be running back down that tunnel because he's scared. Arteta's going to burst into tears because the noise is getting to him. He's going to be saying, "Where's my mammy? I need my mammy to hold me during this game." Arsenal fans are going to go silent because they're going to think, "What the hell's happening here?" And the Tottenham boys are going to look around thinking, "Where have you been for half the season? We needed you and you haven't turned up." So it's going to be full of shocks today.
So you don't think that you're not going down the line of where we're needing a win, Dr. Tottenham's turning up for us today. Yeah, it's not one of those, no?
No. Dr. Tottenham's having a well-earned day off today. He's having
He's been working a long time. He's been working
overtime, absolutely.
Yeah, we've run out of money to pay him, basically. That's the problem.
Right.
He went to see Vinay. Vinay said, "There's no more money for you, mate. Sorry, you're going to have to take that."
he's taking the day off today. Yeah, cool.
Doctor strike.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? Darius, I want to start with you, man. And I know we spoke off camera as well, but how are you feeling today? You feeling nervous? You feeling confident? You're thinking, well, new manager bounce, even though it's only interim. how you feeling, man? The stage is yours.
I think it's a bit of a quiet confidence. I mentioned to you guys, I kind of woke up with a bit of a spring in my step unusually today, and it's been horrible. And Dermot, I assume as a fellow Spurs fan, I assume you feel the same way I've done. This season has been disgusting in my opinion. I think last season for me was a bad season, and I personally, again, I was very much. I'm not an admirer of Ange. I appreciate what he did for us. I was over the moon when we won trophies, but I think to sacrifice the league in such a way, and for people to forget that, and also when I look at it, I thought it was a good decision to sack him at the time that we did. You win a trophy, great, but you saw the downslide that we were going in, and obviously he took the Forest job, and people seem to forget when obviously I know that the Frank tenure was just as bad, if not worse, in my opinion. People do forget that. I think if we did carry on with Ange, it would have looked similar to that Forest tenure where he didn't win a game in the Prem. So just looking at this season as well, I know we've already lost our manager. I was actually quite excited. I think that's why I'm more sort of disheartened and saddened by what's happened this season, because I did think he was a good manager, and I did think he might have had the tactical nous to actually get us through a season being in the Champions League. But at the end of the day, I do feel a bit naive thinking that. I look back at it, and the personality just wasn't the match for Tottenham. I don't care what people say. Tottenham is a big club, and there's a lot of pressure at this club to deliver for fans who do expect things. The younger generation of fans haven't seen a lot of trophies, but have seen title races, have seen finals, have seen big matches in their time. But again, we've got a trophy now, and then you look at the fans who are in the older generation that have seen a lot of trophies, have seen FA Cups, have seen sort of Tottenham in big positions in the league, and I look at it and think it's a cauldron. It's a cauldron for managers to take this role. And Igor Tudor is a manager who thrives and probably specializes in this situation, bringing clubs out of bad positions, maybe not being there for a long time, but getting what he needs out of the players at the club to basically just do the job that he needs. So going into this game, I'm actually confident. I'm the new manager bounce. I don't think it really matters. I think the North London derby and the actual sort of seriousness of the situation and the gravitas that what we could do to you guys today, as Dermot said, I want you lot to pee your pants a little bit. I want you lot to kind of wet the bed, come to Tottenham, and really go, yeah, it's over, it's done. You've won the league at our ground twice. Now it's time for you to lose the league at our ground, in my opinion. And I think that should be enough motivation for these players, regardless of the manager. I don't think Frank would have put that in them, but I hope that these players would have still played, because they have a lot to make up for what happened earlier on this season at the Emirates. That was absolutely disgraceful. One of the worst performances I've seen, not even just in a London derby, North London derby, but from Tottenham in general. So I just want to see a performance, and I want points taken off them. But you know what? Like Dermot said, I'm actually kind of confident. I think we can come and take 3 points. I really do. So let's see what Tudor has to do. Let's see how he sets up. I do expect a 3 at the back, but again, positions, formations, lineups, it doesn't matter to me. The seriousness and like I said, the gravity of this situation for both clubs, that should be alone enough motivation for these players to go out and fight and die for this team.
Yeah, well said. I mean, I totally get it from your perspective, and it's like I say, I thought form does at times with the North London derby, form does go out the window, But I think when we played you at home, it wasn't even about that. I mean, to be honest, you didn't show that fight, and I remember, and we spoke over the weekend about that, and he was frustrated, and but just to come to you, my friend, I mean, just to echo what Dave was saying, it'd be it's going to be a different game today, isn't it, compared to the last one?
Yeah, it will be. It will be totally different because there's a lot more riding on it, I think, this game. And I think the pressure's going to be on you guys to get a point, to try to get a result there. Because if you look at your last seven games, what's it? Only 2 wins out of 7. Which isn't really championship form, is it? To be fair, if you think about it, you should have been beaten by Brentford. If Brentford took their chances and they had enough chances to beat you, they should have beaten you. Wolves, you can say what you want about that performance, but losing a 2-0 lead, I think that's a defining moment of this championship. I think when you look back at the end of the season, where it could come down to a point,
Yeah.
it could come down to the last game of the season where you need a point and Man City need a win, and you lose it by a point. You can go back to the Wolves game and think that's where we lost it. I've always said it, guys. You know, I've been consistent saying it to you guys that the players won't lose you the league, but your manager will. And I will stand by that because I think if you look at Arteta, he may be a good manager, but he hasn't got that final touch to get you guys over the line. And I think games like today, he chokes. Now, I agree with Darius there. If it was Thomas Frank, I don't think we will win today. I think with Igor, that changes the picture altogether. That changes the game plan on its head. And I do feel the pressure's more on you guys than it is us. Because your fans expect you now to win because Man City winning last night. You now got to go out and get 3 points. If you don't, then it's down to 2 points that the pressure's really on you lot. And as Darius said, I agree. We win you, we stop you winning the league. You know, I'm happy with that. And we've had look, I can remember you winning the league at our place back in 2004. That hurt. That really hurt. But look, Tottenham are back. We never went away. We're back. We're gonna put you to the bed. We're gonna finish about 13th in the league. You know, we're gonna have a good end of the season. Bring in Poch back in the summer. Bring some good players in, and we'll be challenging next season. So the glory days are just ahead of us. Arsenal will be crying into their beers tonight down in the other part of North London and thinking maybe we should leave North London now. It hasn't been a good exercise. It hasn't worked. We haven't been that successful. We've got that stadium that we built over an open sewer all them years ago. It's sitting abandoned. We'll go back to that and we'll go back to our roots. So, yeah.
Okay.
We'll even pay for the removal vans for you. We will pay for them for you. We don't mind paying you. And then we can finally get that stench out of North London that's been stinking the place out for over 100 years.
There's just too many of you. I'm sorry. There's just too many of you. I've got way too many friends that are Arsenal fans for me to not have such a vested interest in you lot not winning this league this season. I've been told by people, very close friends of mine that I've known for 20 plus years, that the day that you lot win the league, you will travel to my house and plant a flag in my garden. And I think, you know what? When I hear things like that from what I call supposed friends, you know what I mean? It's the gloves are off. I don't care what happens now. So I am genuinely watching. I'm shameless. I couldn't give a toss. I don't care. I will be watching you every single game this season for the rest of the season and hoping and praying that there's another slip up, because like you said, Dermot, I think for me, as much as I've said I want to win this game, and you can see that I'm very, very invested in winning this game and personally stopping you from doing this. I look at it and think from the 12 games, or it's 12 games I think we've got left.
After this, it'll be 10 for us.
Oh, so 11. I think so. We've got 12. Yeah. So we've got 11 after this. Yeah. So if you look at it, if we, let's say, have those 12 games, including this, if we can win 4 of them, I do think we probably aren't going to get relegated. I look at the other teams around us, you know, the Leeds and West Hams are dropping points.
Relegated.
I'm not saying that. I will not say that.
I think so. I think getting relegated.
I don't care.
I really don't. I don't see it because I know we've said you haven't won in 6, but you just, the 3 teams that are below you, I know West Ham's had a bit of a resurgence, but you're just a bit too regular with your points. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to happen.
But do you know what it is? I would never say, as much as you guys will say that, I will never say that.
Yeah, I get it.
There's always a chance. There's always a chance. And you know, I look at it and I look at my team personally. I don't really look at the other teams around me because we're not picking up points against the West Hams. We lost 3-0 to Forest. We lost to West Ham this season. You know, we dropped points against Wolves this season as well. We only won in the 94th minute, was it, by a Paulinho goal? So there's not an easy game for Tottenham this season. And I know that's looking at it from the perspective of when Frank was in charge, but I have no evidence. Igor Tudor has no Premier League history. There's nothing for me to go off, and other than, you know, watching videos on YouTube about his tactical setup, watching clips of his team play in the past. He sets up in a back 3/back 5. It's a very attacking back 3. His centre backs like to get forward and involve themselves in attack. I can do as much research as I want on how he plays, but the application of it may not work out. So I can't confidently say that yet, but I agree with you, Nick. I think looking at the teams next to us and around us, they are worse. But my problem is Tottenham don't make any game look easy this season. If we've dropped points against bottom of the league, 19th and 18th, we're going to play teams like you guys. We're going to play teams above us in the league, and I think we have to go to Chelsea's second to last game of the season. Yeah. There's still a lot of points that can be dropped this season. So we just have to win the games that are in front of us. Get 4 wins, like I said, 4 out of 12. Then I'll be like, yeah, we're cool. But apart from that,
I can see it going to the end of the season. By the way, this relegation.
Really, I don't.
It really could. Yeah. It really could. Honestly, it really could, mate. And if I have to go up to Chelsea, is it Stamford Bridge we go to, Dermot? Have we?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
If we have to go to Stamford Bridge with any sort of potential relegation on the line, a battle of the bridge might be on again. It might be part 2, and I don't trust these players. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't trust these
that's
players.
The problem.
So we just need to make sure we get those wins before that game, in my opinion. Get the 4 wins before the Stamford Bridge game, second to last game of the season. And it's Everton as well, which is the last game. Again, not an easy game. I don't really want to be bringing it to the last 2 games of the season. That doesn't fill me with confidence. So just get these 4 wins. And if we can get it today, well, what a start. And I think that will then catapult us and really leapfrog us to just basically get them as quick as possible. And then you can kind of, I don't want to say relax, but there's still a Champions League to be playing. If you can get to a quarter final, then a bit of confidence, bit of something to look forward to next season. So let's just see how it goes. But at the moment, looking only at Tottenham and getting these points on the board, that's all I can think about.
Yeah, no, well said, guys, well said. But Nick, well, how are you feeling about today? You feeling confident? You feeling nervous? Yeah.
I'm not nervous. I will be when I'm watching the game. Let's face it, whenever we play Tottenham, any result is possible.
Yeah.
It could be a narrow win for either side. It could be a spanking by either side. It could be a draw. Let's be honest that it will happen. It can happen. For me, I look at this and you've got to kind of just be, the table doesn't lie. I think we are a little bit guilty of trying to coast against smaller teams. I think that's what we try to do too much. It's too much of this game management crap that goes on, and it's like, okay, and then we get caught out. I think we haven't made mistakes too much against big teams. There's been last minute Villa United, but that's over a course of an entire season, having played Inter, Bayern, all these other teams. I think with Tottenham today, in the state of their squad, because they felt the pressure at home as well. Arteta is now in his umpteenth game versus Tottenham. He's had their number. That shouldn't change. Nothing's changing there. I think it all depends, as it has done these past few games, what level does Arsenal come in at? If Arsenal raise their level that they can hit against United, we don't lose that game. We can play that game 5 times and we will win at least 4 of them, in my opinion, because we can hit a level. If we play Tottenham today with the squads the way they are, and we played them 10 times, I feel like we would win at least 8 of them. I do, because I feel like there's a level that we can hit this season that Tottenham can't and haven't. They have been, but then they're really good in 45 minutes at times, Tottenham. The City wobbled against them. I think it will all be down to the mental temperature that Arteta sends the team out. The whole thing with Arteta choking and all the rest of it, I don't buy that so much, because he's not on the pitch. It's the 11 players that are playing. What influences that is what decisions he makes during the game. What's his tactical substitutions like? When does he make them? It's those sort of things that can have an impact. But at the end of the day, if the 11 players that are picked turn up and they play at the level that they can play, it's another 3 points. And I think with the way that this team has been over the last 4 years, it is another match. It's against a big rival and all the rest of it. I think we feel the pressure more than they do. But the Tottenham boys are going to be feeling pressure as well. They're not going to be wanting to, after 2 weeks off, first game, they're not going to want to lose to Arsenal on their own patch. There's the nerves with that as well. I think it's going to be a good game. I do. I think there's going to be incidents. It's just going to be a good, for the neutral, it's going to be a brilliant game to watch, I think. I don't think it's going to be a boring one by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm optimistic, but I think with Arsenal fans recently, Bournemouth, Wolves, it dents the confidence to turn around and say, yeah, we're going to blow them away. I don't think we are. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Personally, I think both defenses can get got at. It's whether the attack is dynamic enough, because that Tottenham back three can get pulled around. If you put Saka up against Paulinho, that's going to be an interesting afternoon. And I think the midfield wins it. I think it will all come down to who's dominant in the midfield for me.
Yeah. No, well said, well said. I mean, all I will say before I go into the comments, it's just, for me, what worries me is what you said with regards to, like, whenever we tend to, like, be a little complacent, I feel, when we play certain teams, and you go 1-0 up. Yeah, you go 1-0 up, and then you can see the line. You can see how at times, we're sitting back. I've seen it a few times this season. Not necessarily against a big, but then, it's like we've sat back in quite a few games this season, and those games, I'm not going to go through the load, because there's a load of games, but they've resulted in draws, and I just feel today, if we go 1-0 up, we cannot afford to sit back, because Tottenham will give it their all. And I don't really know anything about Tudor as a manager, but I do know about him as a player, and he was one of those Croatians who was I just remember him very tough tackling, like most footballers back in the day. He was very intelligent. we're gonna talk about Tudor in a minute, since just after go through some of these comments about AFC 77 about the guest of honor today is none other than Thomas Frank. I mean, if Frank was with you all now, he'd probably have an Arsenal mug in the dressing room, like, waiting to, what I mean, give you all the team talk and all that, So yeah, Arteta's still a rookie learning on the job.
Not so sure about that anymore. He's been a manager for 6 years now.
He's been there for years. He's been there, a long time. But I still feel it's just something. He's a good manager, but he's not a great manager. You know what I mean?
Not yet. He's got nothing to lean on in terms of title credentials. Yeah.
I'm no fan, but he's not a bad manager. But it's just, for me, it's just a case of, we'll know at the end of the season where we're going to be in terms of silverware and, where we're going to be in the league. And it'd be a case of, has he taken them as far as he can go? You know what I mean?
Spanish Southgate, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Diego Simeone, for me, I think I'm looking at Atletico Madrid, and there's times where they've been good, times have been really awful. But I'm looking at thinking, after winning 2 La Ligas, and he's won Europa Leagues, he was unlucky not winning the Champions League or 2, and he's won, I think he's won domestic cups with Atletico and European Super Cup. He's got a good CV. I'm not saying Arsenal go and get him, but I'm looking at it thinking, I think he's taken them as far as he can go. When I look at Atletico, I think they're a club as well. I think they need a bit of freshening up. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. The mentality's manager stinks, and that's reflected on the pitch with the players. Yeah, I've seen that at times this season.
With this, because I understand where people are at with Arteta. As I've said before, I don't get into the Arteta out, the Arteta in. I'm Arsenal win, and the mentality of the manager. You've got to remember, from where we've gone from 8th, 5th, and now we've gone back to back thirds. These boys below us. If you turned round and you said Pochettino's going to come in, and he's going to improve you to just outside the Champions League places, then you're going to go on a run of competing for the title for 4 years. Would you take that right now, gents?
Hell yeah.
The entitlement of Arsenal fans is really kind of like, there is nothing that turns around in my as my contract with Arsenal as a fan that says we've got to have trophies. But
at the end of the day, you have to look at it and think,
guaranteed.
Right now, I agree with you. From where you were to where you are now in his tenure, he's put you back into a position where you can respect yourselves as a club, as fans. You can look at your club and say, I want to watch Arsenal. And I do think that is an important part of being I know that the football's not been great this season, but, you know, when 22-23, I look back at 22-23, I look back at, was it last season or the season before last?
Before, yeah.
After you went to Dubai, you seemed like you were just murdering every single team by at least 4 or 5 goals. So there is a history of it happening. I just look at it and think there's a point in time where a manager has taken you so far.
Oh, yeah.
And there are managers out there where I look at, for me, Luis Enrique would be like a number one choice. A Hansi Flick, who's not doing very well at the moment with Bayern. He almost does look a bit like a fancy Ange Postecoglou. But again, I look at these managers and think they can take you to the next level. And this squad is good enough to be taken to the next level.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there should be any more squad building or significant squad building, apart from maybe that left wing. I do look at that left wing and think left wing is not good. But in your guys' opinion, I guess it's a question to you. Do you think it's, if you don't win the league, do you think that's where you have to draw the line now and go a different direction? Or
I do. For me, without a doubt, if he doesn't land this year, then it is, because I think the difference between any long-term manager that's trying to push and flog for a title, there's a difference between being 10th to 3rd to actually being in a title race. And if we are in our 4th year of a title race and that's not rewarded, what's going on in the players' minds in the squad as well? Do you know what I mean? You've got the same guy talking and pushing. At what point do they stop believing what's being said, or are they tired of what's being said? Do you know what I mean? And I think there is that. So if he doesn't land this year, then we're gonna have to go in a new direction. We're gonna have to bring in somebody else and thank him for what he's done. He's done God's work. He's taken us from the mud and got us to the brink. But it may be that we just need something else to get us from the brink to land. But I still feel like the conversation needs to be reviewed if we win trophies, because it's kind of a case of, I feel like the football we've played this year is not sustainable for another season, because the players are having to play 90 minutes every single match because the match is still live, because we haven't killed it off in the first half, and it's wearing and it's too much load. And it's like when we saw Liverpool in the first 2 months of the season, you could tell that wasn't sustainable, getting last-minute winners and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But we've continued that into pretty much into nearly March now. And it's the same thing. It's not sustainable, and that can't carry on for another season. So there has to be a clear mind objective at the end of the season, regardless, for me. What do you think, Bren?
Yeah, I mean, for me, he has to go if we don't win anything this season in terms of the big prizes, especially the league. He has to go. And I would say I've never been a fan of him from day one, but I've always backed the team and always wanted him to do well, always wanted him to succeed. And I know a lot of Arteta outs would say the same, because if they don't, then you think, oh, come on. You know, at the end of the day, I never want Arsenal to lose a game. I always want them to win, and I don't care who's in charge. Just make us competitive, and bring me those trophies, because we've been so used to, I think fans over the generation have been so used to seeing Arsenal win trophies for almost 100 years now. You know what I mean? So that's just how I look at it. Yeah, he's brought us back from where we were. He's got us competing again. I still feel we should have made more of an impression in his first full season in the Europa League against Villarreal. I was disappointed with that shock showing on that. That draw is like, and he takes off Aubameyang. Who does that?
Yeah.
In the semi-final when you need a goal. It's things like that, and he's done a lot. He's done a lot of silly things over the years that I'm not impressed with. But then he's done other stuff that I've been impressed with. I feel also with the attacking football. I mentioned it. I'm sure Nick heard me say a while back that Steve Round, who was the assistant coach. It's like since he left the club, it's like the attacking football has gone. The attacking football's gone, and I'm sure he was, a part of what the attacking football we played, because 22, 23, 23, 24 would still be my best seasons under Arteta. And I think round, and someone said it. Can't remember who. Someone in I was in a chat group for one of the other channels, and someone put that in. I'm like, you know what? That's a really good point. With Steve Round no longer there, so coaches do make the difference. I mean, I do feel we need a well-known attacking coach in the summer as well.
Yeah, I do.
You know what I mean? Regardless of whether Arteta's at the club or not.
Yeah.
But I just feel right now what he's doing, he's got a squad and he doesn't trust everyone in the squad. And what concerns me, guys, is that it's been games, like I said earlier, there's been games this season where he's been shutting up shop. I mean, Liverpool early in the season, we could have, felt we could have got a result because at Anfield, because Liverpool were conceding goals for fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, we can get out of them.
Conservative, yeah.
And then the lineup was, Sorry,
I feel your players are already tired of Arteta. I do feel that. Yeah. I feel some of them are already sort of at that.
I think some of them are.
Yeah, I do.
Some of them are already there. I think it's the problem is, I think it's the ones that the board will take notes of. They're the ones that are there. The younger ones that he brought through, or the players that he's brought in, they're still behind him. But the players that the board, when the question is asked, like at Tottenham, they will go to a Romero or they go to a Mickey van der Ven or a Palunia. Somebody with experience, do we need to change the manager? I think Arsenal are already there. I think Arteta should have gone at the end of last season. And I think he should. I think he's there. I think there's too much. If I'm looking at it from my football, sort of forget my Tottenham, me being a Spurs fan, but being just a football fan, I think there's too much love for Arteta at Arsenal. I think there's too much.
Yeah,
just to put something against that, though.
Yeah.
We're currently, as we're talking and holding this conversation, game day 27, everybody's equal on matches. We are first 2 points clear. We finished the Champions League group top. We are in the final of the Carabao Cup, and we're still in the FA Cup. And we're talking about sacking the manager. Doesn't that seem a little bit crazy?
It does.
Well, it's crazy.
Also, you have to apply context to the situation as well, in my opinion. Yeah. It's a 6-year tenure. You've given him a lot of power within this club. Big club. I'm never going to take that away. So you have given him everything he needs as a manager to succeed. You've allowed him to gut the squad of big names and big characters, because I think he's very much somebody who needs to control. He's a bit of a control freak, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think he needs to have, and you can see it on the pitch at the way his teams play football. I think he likes to have his hands on everything. He likes everything to go exactly how he wants it to. And my thing is with him, and I look at Arteta this season, I think he's scared of losing this league, and you can see it because of what's happened in the last 3 years.
He's very cautious,
Cautious is probably the best word to use, and it's working against you, because now, yes, you had you were 9 points clear. You were defensively, and still are, I would say, a very solid team. But I do think when it comes to winning this league, if you look at what Pep's doing, as much as Phil Foden was doing a very good, he was doing a bit of a madness, in fact. I think he was purple patch, if you call it that, towards November, December time. He's almost now taken Cherky and Foden out of the team, who were working as double tens, and swapped them now to have Marmoush being more impactful. Haaland's involved in play a little bit more. He's tweaking things as the season goes on to make sure that he picks up points any way he can. He's taking risks, and sometimes it doesn't work. He played Max Elaine, Kushanov, Rico Lewis, and Nico O'Reilly all in a back four, and it didn't work out against Man United. They didn't really have a choice because their centre backs were injured, but you know, he's still taking risks. He's changing his systems. He's playing a diamond. He's playing 3. Arteta, I think, is looking at it. And again, the Saka to a 10 switch does look like it might work well. But again, I do think that's going to have negative effects on people like Eze. When you look at it and think your new signing 68 mil and Starboy's getting he's getting forced into your position because it's not working, and you're looking at it and thinking, well, why am I not?
He didn't want Eze. He didn't want him.
He didn't, and I think it was a bit of a what's the word? A petty move by your club to basically little bro Tottenham in the summer and say, you know what, we still have the upper hand against you. I'm not mad at Eze for joining you. I can't really get mad at the player. If I was an Arsenal fan, or let's say I'm a Tottenham fan, and Arsenal were going to sign me, I'd probably join them. But then if Tottenham came to me and said, you know what, we're going to give you whatever a month, whatever a week, you're going to play, you're going to challenge for the league at your boyhood club that you supported. You were there when you were a kid. They let go of you. You have this whole redemption story of making it to the Prem, winning an FA Cup with Crystal Palace. You know, that's statue level worthy for Crystal Palace. That's the first trophy in the history. Yeah. And then you come back to your boyhood club and finish your career by winning a league. It's a fairy tale. So I'm not going to get onto him for that. But I think he's going to have a lot of regrets if you don't win the league. Even maybe if you do win the league, I think he wouldn't care. Personally, I don't think he would care. I wouldn't care if I was sitting on the bench for half the season and winning the league with my boyhood club and getting to cup finals. I wouldn't care. But again, he might have a little bit more of that personal drive and wanting to contribute to teams. And it's all about the player. But he definitely can't be happy with the fact that Saka's playing 10. So it's the level of cautiousness is the problem with Arteta. I can't.
Too conservative. Yeah.
You can't win the league and be like that. You can't. You have to take risks. You have to.
You
have to go for games sometimes. You know, if you take that risk and maybe leave yourself open at the back, but you get the win and goal difference matters as well. Let's not forget about that as well. Yeah. Getting goals and making sure you have that gap between City and goal difference as well. It could come down to the wire. So that's my issue. I said you were going to win the league. My prediction was Arsenal were going to win the league this season. When I looked at what Liverpool did in the summer, I think a lot of people got overly scared because of the name. And I knew, and I said they're going to clash. Ekitike doesn't want to play off the left. You're going to have a clash there. And then obviously they started well. I still said Arsenal were going to win the league because the players that you signed fit what you needed. You had almost every position covered by 2 or 3 players. But I look at it now and we're getting to the point of the season again where the level of cautiousness and it's fear. It looks like fear and it's going to come back and bite you on your ass. I'm sorry, lads. As much as I did think you were going to win the league, the way you lot have been playing, 2 wins in 7, it's a lot of it goes on that manager. The players don't have a lot of fight, and I don't look at a lot of those players and think, you know, you want to grab this game by the neck and you're going to do anything for your club and you're going to win it by being a bit dirty. Like I don't see a lot of slide tackles going in. I don't see a lot of aggression, but I think a lot of this does come down to the manager. You've got a very good squad. You've got the best squad in the league by far. And
I would say nearly, because I don't feel like our attacking options are anywhere near as good as City's.
I don't, but then I also look at it and think you lot have built a defensive back line where it's. And again, I'm giving you all the credit for this. I'll say this from a neutral footballing standpoint. You've bought centre backs who can play fullback, so it allows you to be very flexible. In if your players get injured, as you have had injuries in centre back. Calafiori played centre back for Bologna. Timber was playing centre back for Ajax. Ben White was a centre back for Brighton. You lot have turned them into fullback. Nketiah was a centre back for Leverkusen. You lot turned them into fullbacks, and it allows you to then be flexible with your back line, which is why I don't think there's been that much stress in terms of that. And again, I look at your front line: Madueke, Trossard, Martinelli, Gyökeres, who are Saka. It isn't an elite front line, but you should. The stats that I've seen some of your forward line in terms of, you know, goals, assists and that, it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, I wouldn't have Madueke, I wouldn't have Martinelli, but again, you've proven that those players can get goals, by the way. And, you know, Odegaard as well, I think has been a massive, massive hit. He's not good enough, in my opinion. He has fallen off a cliff since 22-23 when he scored 15 goals in the league.
I agree.
So they are good players, but I think it comes down to the manager. They're good enough players to win this league. With the amount of depth you've got, they are good enough players to win this league. I agree you can upgrade them, but they are good enough players to win this league. I think the manager needs to look at it.
I agree. The system.
It's the system.
A lot of these players aren't working. Yeah.
2 hands on
in the attack.
Just to add on that, I mean, if you look at the 2 managers, and you look at managers in the past that have been either leading the league or chasing the league. I think it's easier to chase it than it is to win it if you're top and you've been top for a long time.
Yeah.
There's only a few managers that are able to do that. Sir Alex Ferguson is one, Pep is another. You have to have something in you as a manager to keep everything fresh, keep everything, hungry. Because as players, if you're, say, 9 points clear, mentally you're thinking, oh, we've already won this. And you're on a long, you haven't lost for a while. You're winning games and you're thinking, oh, we've won this. Players start to relax. The mentality of that player starts to go down, and then the other team starts catching you. And then it puts doubts in the players' minds.
But then
can we get over this line? And just very quickly, I think you're really mismanaging Eze at the moment. And I think Arteta is really mismanaging him. Eze could be the difference between you winning the league and not winning the league.
Oh, 100%.
A little bit of brilliance from him. And as good as Saka is, I think Eze's the better player than Saka. I think Saka's a bit one-dimensional. You know what you're going to get with Saka.
Yeah.
I just feel that he's reached his peak. I don't think there's any more Saka can give. I think Eze, there's more from Eze to give you guys. And I think if the manager doesn't trust you to do a job, or like against Brentford, I didn't think he played that bad in the first half against Brentford. But if you're getting pulled off at half-time, your confidence is going to go down and down and down.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get to the point is, this manager doesn't trust me. And then he talks to his mates, and then he talks to his teammates. I think discontent then starts going in that dressing room, Nick. So, I mean, my question to you guys is, are you mismanaging Eze? Because from a Tottenham point of view, I don't know if Darius agrees. I think you are.
I think so.
Personally.
I think it was what I was saying about what Arteta sends out as the mental temperature. And I think that if anything with Arteta, I wonder if he has the humility to understand the man before him. Not what I want. I want you to constantly do this, do that, do that. What does that player need? How do I, does he need an arm around his shoulder? Does he need to express himself? All of that sort of stuff, rather than when we create this shape, I need you to do X. It's almost like you can see it on Martinelli's mind sometimes when he's running down the wing, rather than just cut into and shoot. It's almost like, am I passing? Am I where's the other position? And it's like he's trying to solve a mental equation when it's just quite simple. Put the ball in the back of the net. And I think this is sometimes the problem with Arteta is they're human beings, not machines. And I think being a player, there is sometimes that bit where you can almost become, and a lot of players, ex-players, struggle with this as managers. They've hit a high level. Some of them are very high level, and it's because I could do it, everyone can do it. And sometimes you've just got to be a little bit more dealing with the person in front of you.
You know who was really bad at that? Thierry Henry. That's why I don't think he's an elite coach. But I think mentally, when I hear him as a pundit, he's one of my favorite pundits. He talks ball, and he talks it so passionately and so intelligently. You can almost see exactly what the players envisioning. But when it comes to coaching, he's never really shone as a coach, because I think he thinks that players can do what he can do. And when he's thinking, why are they not doing that? Henri, they're not you, mate. You're one of the greatest players of all time. Right?
There was a reason why you were special. So
I
think he would make a good attacking coach, not necessarily a manager. Do you know what I mean? I would have him in my backroom staff, because if you're wanting to inspire youngsters and the other people in the squad, and you go out and you give him the wingers to go and run sessions, and he's going, come on, beat your man. Show me what you've got. And pushing and pushing and pushing. And showing them that they can do certain things and that they can believe in their talents.
He's my attacking coach.
Yeah.
I think the human side of things in football is very much forgotten a lot.
I do. I agree with that.
And that's why I look at Arteta. And you know what? I take this into account with a lot of footballing managers at the moment. They take away the player's ability to be individual. And I think Pep gets away with it because he's, in my opinion, the greatest manager of all time. And there's evidence that Pep's going to improve you as a player. So you go to Man City and you listen to what Pep says, you're probably going to come out a better player. But a lot of these managers now are so system driven, They take that individuality away from a player. And as a player, and I don't know if you guys have played football like when you were younger, or if you play football now, whatever it is. When I played football, like when I was young, I would get annoyed at a manager. My dad was my manager for a long time, but if he's telling you need to do something, as much as you're going to listen to your manager and do it, it's almost like when you can't do what you want and you can't express yourself, it takes it away. And the only reason that you accept almost that taken away of your character is when you win things. So I think a lot of these players, when I look at Eze, I think I look at sometimes I look at Saka in that way. I look at Odegaard in that way, where they are fit in a system that is working, but it's not getting you to the final, it's not getting you over the finish line. And then they're looking at themselves and thinking, well, I'm getting a lot of slack from, fans, and let's not pretend like they don't see what is said about them online and stuff. They're getting told that they're not doing this, and they're getting told that they're not creating and they're not passing forward. But really and truly, that could be coming from Mikel Arteta saying, I don't
asking them to do
risk.
that. Exactly.
Don't play through the lines. Because the chance of that getting intercepted, or, we're going to lose possession and then we're going to have an attack on us. And I look at that and I think that's why these players maybe are losing a bit of faith, because if you're getting nowhere, if you're winning trophies and you're winning the league, great, cool. I think
it's a good balm, isn't it, to the difficulty?
It's almost like you'll trade that. But if you're not,
a reward for the bit in it,
and if you're getting close, and that's the thing, you can taste it. And 3 years in a row now, it's on the tip of your. And I get last season was not a title race. Liverpool ran away with it, but the 2 seasons before, I'm on to you guys. You should have won the league, and I think you as fans as well. I'd be disappointed in you guys as fans. I'll be honest with you, if you didn't think that you should have won the league as well, because I get City have got all the money. I get City have been there and done that, but you put yourselves in positions where,
and we've spent money as well this season.
And you've spent money now. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. Your squad is. I've heard this from a lot of your fans, from my friends. You've got a squad now to compete on all fronts, and it's proven. You're in a final. You finished top of the Champions League. You're top of the league right now, still maybe by the skinny teeth, but you're still top of the league. And the FA Cup, obviously, we'll see what happens. But I think these players are thinking, you know what? If it don't happen for the 4th time, they're thinking, well, what am I getting all this blame?
Absolutely.
Why am I being looked
at?
Miles Lewis Skelly, for example, Ethan Ranieri, who's been sent out on loan. I know he started off well. I think it's now. It's not going well now, but he started off well. You can see that guy's got talent. You can see that there are players that could do and contribute to the squad, but you don't trust them. There's not a lot of trust.
Like, Brenny, how many times have we said, like, Norgard and Miles? For me, Miles should be our left 8 that is coming on and taking the load off Declan for the final 20 minutes had we put the game to bed, had we been a bit 100%. More adventurous. Do you know what I mean? And he's lightning Declan loads. And then you've got Norgard, who I really rate as a 6.
I rate
the Brentford captain. He's a quality player.
He's even played
he can transition from being a defender and forming a 5, but on stepping out and then pushing the progressive balls forward is exactly kind of what we need right now. Then he's taking the load off Zubi. And it's the fact that these 2 players, like with Timber, using White to kind of lighten Timber's load. I think those 3 players that are instrumental to our system are fatigued right now because they have played too many 90-minute games with the intensity that the game is on the line for all of that 90 minutes. And that is then it is on the manager. So when I defend the manager and I'm saying it's not all him, it's not that I'm giving him a pass and saying he's got no water to carry and all the rest of it. I recognize the flaws and the limitations of what he's doing. My problem is I sometimes feel with this team, they walk out onto that pitch like White Hart Lane today. I don't want a single player looking around at the other 11 going, right, who's going to win us the game today? I want my boys walking out going, don't worry, I've got this, boys. I'm going to get us through it. Do you know there's a difference in mentality in, are you looking for a hero or are you going to be the hero? And I think if you're going to be champions, if you're going to go and win this league, you've got to go out and be the hero. You've got to go out and be the main man. And I think particularly in the forward line, when we're talking about our front 3 and maybe the 2 players that are supplying and playing behind them, I think it's vitally important that those players start turning up and giving us 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10 performances, rather than being nearly invisible and turning in 6 out of 10s, because that's not going to get it over the line.
How many players are left from the night we beat you 3-0 to get top 4? Do you know when that was the start of you not getting top 4? How many you played? Because you're talking about mentality. How many players froze that night? when we beat you 3-0 under Conte. And have you learned from that? Have the
I think
Arsenal
we
players
have.
learned
I
from
think we've
that?
moved on from that.
Yeah,
But it's
I think
because I think you talking about mentality. I think it's the same for the Tottenham players as well. We don't win at home. I count how many Darius have we won at home this year? Two games at home.
I'll
2
double
games
check.
at
I'm
home.
pretty sure it's 2 games. Yeah.
Yeah, in the whole
it is.
season. So
Wow.
the Tottenham players are going in there with no confidence, thinking if we make a mistake, are these fans are going to get on our back? It's going to be a toxic atmosphere. You know it is, and toxic in a good way. Not if Frank was still there, I think I think it would be 10 times worse. The atmosphere. I think with the new manager, I still believe. Do these Tottenham players have the mentality to get the ball over the line? If we go 1-0 down, have they the fight to get back into it?
Nah.
And I keep saying this. I don't know what there is. I hope he disagrees with me on this one. I rarely do, and I don't what you guys think. But I don't think these players have the bottle to get us out of a relegation fight. I just don't think they have the know-how or the ambition
I
to
think
get
they
us out.
do.
I don't. You look maybe Palunia, yes. Maybe a Mickey Van der Ven, yes. Maybe a Christian Romero when he isn't being a complete idiot, yes. But
Do you know what, guys?
Would the Jed Spence do it for you? No, Jed Spence wouldn't die in that hill for you. Would a Conor Gallagher do it? As much as Conor Gallagher tries, I don't think so. Would a Solanke? Probably not. These players know if you're going down, they're already thinking where we're going next season.
100%.
They'll be telling their agent, right, get me out of here. It's already happening because of the 18 months we've had. So today is a game of mentality. Who's the stronger players? And also, it's down to the manager's mentality. Can
you know
Arteta
what?
overrun the rights of... Sorry, Brenny, go on.
No, I was just going to say what you've just said. It lines well with what I've still got up on the screen with what big up Chris Welsh as well about Spurs going to be unpredictable today. No one knows how they will set up on this new guy. So I want to ask you guys, and then I'll ask Nick. How much do you know about Igor Tudor, the manager? Do you already know what's been going on in training? Do you know how he prefers to set up? It's obviously going to be different to how Thomas Frank sets up. What do you think he could be a motivator to your squad, who you think you just said right now not up for the relegation fight? I mean, Darius, I'll ask you first, but what are you expecting from Igor Tudor? What do you know about him as a manager?
I will be honest, I didn't know much about him. The only thing I knew about Igor Tudor was, one, he was Croatian, and two, he used to be at Juve and Marseille. I have looked into what he said, and I don't know about you, Dermot, but ever since really, I would probably say the Conte press conference, was it Sunderland, where he went balls against the wall and exposed everything? I don't really watch press conferences anymore. I don't really like to watch interviews. I don't like to have my opinion swayed on what I'm looking at on the pitch by what's the manager saying and what comes out of their mouth. Because as a Spurs fan, I think a lot of these managers can talk a good talk, but when it comes to actually delivering on the pitch, it's a different sort of outcome. So just from sort of what he said, I couldn't tell you what he said in the press conference. I couldn't tell you what he said in his interview. But as a manager, I know that he enjoys to play, and his preferred formation is to play sort of a 3-4-2-1. I think it's going to benefit a lot of players. And again, platforming players for me is the most important thing about getting the best out of them. If you don't put them in a position to do well, I don't see how you can expect a player to perform well. So I look at our fullbacks who are being told to play in a 4 at the back, who aren't very defensive minded, who aren't thinking, I'm going to defend well in a 1v1, I'm going to jockey, I'm going to stop the winger from cutting in. Our defenders don't do that. Our fullbacks don't do that. So being able to allow Jed Spence, who I think will probably start left back or left wing back, and I don't know who's going to start right back. I don't know if Porro's still out. It'd probably be Archie Gray, to be honest with you, starting right wing back.
Or your young Brazilian?
Sousa could start left wing back and Spence could play right back. I just don't know if playing a 19-year-old Brazilian in a North London derby in the second game is the smartest thing. Again, positions and formations and platforming players and putting them in the right positions is, as I mentioned, is important. But the time and the place is also essential as well. But I think that Tudor's going to go with what he knows is going to be able to not entertain, I want to say, because entertainment is the least of my worries at the moment. But he's going to make sure that these players fight. He looks like a manager that you can't really get away with not dying and not putting your all into a game for 90 minutes. So I think we'll look at a 3 at the back. Van der Ven, Paulinho, Danso's injured. So I really, Dragosin will probably start, like you said, Nick. Midfield is going to probably be where it's won and lost. Gallagher again, Dermot. It'd be interesting to see what you think about Gallagher. Actually, I want to ask you because I think it's absolutely preposterous. The decision making that we had to sign Gallagher, which looks like it was a Frank signing per se, to make him our highest paid player. I've heard a lot of rumors that he's on 240k a week at Tottenham, which would make him our highest paid player by 40k.
I do like him as a player.
But he's not worth 240k and almost breaking your wage structure because he's a highest paid player. He's a highest paid player. We paid 40 mil for him. It's not even like we got him on a free or anything. There must be something going on where we're either going to be paying players more, we're going to be breaking the wage structure more because to pay two for, and I know the money's not mine and I don't care about who's getting paid what, but if it's going to stop us from signing other players and we've decided to drop 40 mil and 240k a week on Conor Gallagher and then sack the manager we signed him for because we wanted to keep our finger in our ass and not sack him months before, it's gonna really annoy me. That's why I'm still not all that faithful that we are out of the woods just yet with this team and this club. But yeah, Dermot, I don't know what you think, mate. The Gallagher signing, he's good, he's a decent player, but I just think that's just a sign of poor planning. Like you sacked the manager that you signed him for. I don't get it. And he's
I just don't get it, man. We had a joke on our own channel about Gallagher. Every year we're linked with Gallagher. We're linked with Gallagher.
Man.
To be on 240 grand a week, it's madness. Mickey Van der Ven should be on that. I'm sorry, Mickey Van der Ven's a far better player. Look, Gallagher, 100%. Is he a player to get you out of the relegation fight? I don't think he is. He's a good player, but he's not that player that will roll up his sleeves and get stuck in. If you look at players down, but you look at West Ham, you look at Nottingham Forest, they're going to start picking up points. West Ham have the momentum. We don't. And today's either going to work in our favour or go against us. I just feel if we win today, then we build on that. That gives you the momentum. That gives you the confidence to go and beat a Fulham away. If we lose today and lose heavily, then I think the confidence just wipes away. And then you're in free fall. And then you've got no confidence of winning at home. And I think Arsenal have an opportunity today. There's two things going to happen. A, Arsenal win, re-establish themselves as title challengers and put the pressure back on the Man City. Or somehow or some way, I don't know if you agreed there, is that Tottenham turn up with a proper lineup, proper foundation, proper formation, and players full of confidence because of Igor. And I do think Sousa will start today, by the way. I would start with Sousa on the left and I would start with Spence on the right.
Fair.
I think Sousa showed enough in that first game against Man City to show me that you could throw him in.
He's good. I like him, he's good.
He did. He's got pace in him as well, which I also love. And I think you do. And as much as I criticize Jed Spence for his attitude, I think he is a good defender. He's a good win back. I agree with Nick when he said earlier about the midfield. We need Paulinho in that midfield.
Yeah, I think that's
we cannot play him as the centre back. If we play him as the centre back, then we're fucked.
Yeah, I think he will play. I think he will play centre back as well, Dermot. I
think so. Look, why we haven't brought back Luca is beyond me. That is one player I would definitely bring back and put into this Tottenham lineup. But I think if you don't put Paulinho in that midfield, that player I hate, who's the traitor? Nick, no, you know who I mean, Nick. The traitor. Mr. T, as I call him. The West Ham reject. He went to Arsenal to end his career as a donut. I think he'll run the midfield. I think he'll run the midfield, and I think he'll that word Arsenal will win it. For me, it's about who can keep the cool heads today when others are losing it.
See, because I think Gallagher and Paulinho in the middle of your midfield with another gets you competitive. I think having to put Paulinho back into defence robs you in that situation. I'd almost be tempted to play a 4 at the back for Tottenham to have to not do that. Jed Spence one side, Dragusin and Van der Ven and Jed Spence the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because then you can then put maybe a 2-man, 3-man midfield together and then chain. But that's what I would almost go with a 4-back, because otherwise you could be ending up looking like a 5-back. And I don't think you need that with your home crowds looking like you're low blocking with a 5. I know everyone's talking about a 3-back because he generally favours that, but I would almost play this game with a 4-back so you don't pull Paulinho back into defence, where his pace against certain players could be an issue. I would go 4 because I just think you'd be a lot more solid and a lot more natural with that personally.
The only way I see it working is, again, he may completely change his tactics. I did a bit of research on Igor Tudor and what he likes to do with that 3 at the back formation / 5 at the back, because you can play 3 at the back in an attacking way and you can play it in a defensive way. I mean, you look at teams like let's think of a good example, Man United / Crystal Palace. Man United played that 3-4-3 very sort of attacking, and they left a lot to be desired at the back, whereas Crystal Palace made sure that they were solid at the back, but they had a lot of transition, a lot of speed going forward. There's ways to play it, and I think Tudor likes to use his centre-backs in attack. He likes his centre-backs to get forward. So maybe the only thing I can see is maybe he is going to make Paulinho that sort of designated centre-back to involve himself in play, get higher up the pitch, be in the middle of the park, and then it leaves you with that sort of 4 at the back with Dragusin and Van der Ven as a centre-back. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm very interested to see how the game goes. I will be interested to see as well, and I know you're going to agree with me. For the last about 2 years, 3 years, you can kind of determine how Tottenham will play in the first 5 minutes of a game, and it probably won't change after that 5 minutes in terms of intensity, performance. So I'm gonna give them the 5 minutes, as I always do, to see what they're gonna be like. But the first goal is the most important thing this game. If Arsenal score first, a lot of that faith and confidence that I do have, surprisingly, will dissipate very quickly, and it will probably go back to me being very pessimistic and thinking that we're not going to win. However, we get the first goal. I do see this Arsenal side not performing how they usually have done, or maybe performing how they usually have done, and I'm panicking a bit, and that's the issue. And there's not going to be an element of risk being taken by this Arsenal team. I think I look at them and think they're going to probably take the most risk at the start of the game and get a goal, and then they will happily shut up shop. I do see Arsenal doing that if they score. So the onus is on us. I want us to go out and make them scared. I want Arsenal to be fearful. I don't care if you have to take a risk. I don't care if we can see it. I don't want Arsenal to cruise through this game and be like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. Make these lot work for a win. If they're going to win, make them work for this win. Make it horrible. Fans included. I want the fans to be nasty. Boo every single time they're on the ball, Enter that stadium and just support the team. As much as we have had a horrible season, the manager's been sacked. There's a new guy.
Do your job as a fan. Yeah.
Do your job as a fan and just support this team. And it's not me getting onto anybody, because you can have your own opinion. You pay your money to go to that stadium. Do what you want. But if there's ever a game where we all need to be in unison, and even if we're going 1-0 down, unless the performance is disgraceful, let's not boo the players. There's always a chance. And this Arsenal team have proven you take the lead and it's not guaranteed that you're going to keep it.
Absolutely.
Brentford, you took the lead. Keane Lewis-Potter scored from a header from a throw-in. You took the lead against who else is it recently? This in this run of games that you've taken the lead against. Wolves, you took the lead against, and
Yeah.
you know, 2-0, and you still didn't get the points. So there's an opportunity here, even if we go down to win. But I still want us to get that first goal. That's the most important thing for me. Get that first goal and don't make a mockery of Tottenham twice in a North London derby in a year, in a season.
Yeah, no, 100%. Great points from all of you, and also some really good points in the chat as well. There, you know what I mean. And it was this one that stood out for me with regards to the manager. You know, and this was sent by my big cuz, Risha. The only two managers that we can even consider are Enrique and Cesc. However, Cesc is not at the level yet. I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, quite possibly wouldn't be an upgrade because there's less pressure on Como. I mean, for me, there has been talk about Cesc Fabregas, but I would say he'd be the manager I'd want maybe 4 years from now. And
Yeah, I agree.
I think, you know what I mean, and I think that should have been the case with Mikel Arteta because
Yeah.
when he was swooning in, I wanted Carlo Ancelotti because of experience, and then he went to Everton because it was around that time. So I was looking at Arteta, knowing that we all knew he was doing really well as a coach at City, and I thought, you know what? Maybe in a few years from now, maybe Arteta could be that man. That's what I was looking at because I thought a novice coming into the club, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I know it took him a while to get going, but I think at Arsenal said this the other night, didn't I, Nick, about longevity with managers and how well we've done over the decades, where managers at Arsenal would be given like maybe 5 to 6 years, 7 years. You know what I mean? And that's one thing about Arsenal. We're probably the only club that does that. You know, so nah. I mean, for me, I totally agree, cuz not yet Fabregas, but who knows? Who knows?
It would be a risk.
There is, yeah, and it would be, and there is less pressure. But then again, I think with any manager, even if they have a good CV nowadays, a risk, isn't it? Really.
I mean, Enrique, he's got a budget that is 4 times, 5 times greater than any other club in Ligue 1.
Yeah,
and he's still fighting for the top spot right now.
Yeah. I do hear that. They had my only caveat with that is they had a very long season last season. They played a lot of games. They've had a lot of injuries as well to their best players. They have managed to do okay. I do look at them and think, yeah, I 100% agree with you. They have looked a lot less of the team that they were last season. But again, I think the goalkeeper losing Donnarumma, and you can see
that wasn't easy, was it?
The points that he's given City and some of the performances I've seen from that guy. I'm not saying Raya hasn't done the same. Raya has made some pretty remarkable saves, but you look at what he's done the last couple games and you think, you know, quality-wise, a goalkeeper like Donnarumma is a game changer for me. If a guy can get you out of situations where performances I've seen, and again, last season as well, he was unbelievable against you lot for PSG. And this season, I've seen a few games for City. I think the Liverpool game stands out to me. There's a few other games where
he's just so damn big.
It's just the size, the presence, everything about him. You almost have a confidence as a defender. I think the Gahey signing as well. Semenyo's been good. I think people giving him a lot of flack. To say what he has to do to come into a team that's gone from you're almost a system to you're gonna have to fit into this system. I think he's done all right. But Gahey for me. That's a serious game changer. And the fact that Diaz came back so soon as well. I mean, he was out for like 2-3 weeks. I thought he was out for 6 weeks. He came back, and that partnership, it just, again, the confidence it gives the players in front of you, the confidence it gives your goalkeeper because he's not going to do as much work. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking Arsenal didn't really go into that January and look at any sort of upgrades or look at any positions that they could attack and think, yeah, we need to get over the line. And maybe that's because you did everything you needed to do, but City have been proactive. City are taking risks. City are they can sense something.
2 Januaries running, they've just gone out and got what they've needed. I mean,
they can sense something, man. I'm coming back to the game. All of these things I think are playing a lot in the mind of your players. You can see Raya and Gabriel, they don't make mistakes like that. They don't make mistakes like that. I don't see Gabriel. I know the one against, can't remember who it was. It might have been Fulham or Bournemouth. No, it's Bournemouth, where he passed it back and Evan Nilsson scored against you guys.
Yeah.
You see mistakes like that happen a couple times, but Gabriel's been pretty amazing.
I worry about that sometimes with us, Darius. I really do.
The reaction from Jesus as well after the game.
Opposition.
It's just little things like that, like the reaction from Jesus after the game, red card or not. That is signs to me, mental signs to me. Again, the human side of things in football, that pressure's getting to them. And again, I can't blame the fan base. It would be wrong of me to blame the fan base for putting pressure on players. These are professional football players that get paid millions of pounds to, as you say, kick a ball around the pitch. But I do think they feel the pressure from the fans. The fans are nervous.
Arsenal are a very nervous fan base, and that's got to feed in. You know, at the Emirates, everything. The whole that sort of noise and volume to get behind. You know what you'd get at St James's Park and that sort of thing. We need to do better as we demand like this elite mentality of our manager, and we demand this elite mentality of our players. Yet half of the fan base are a bunch of melts, you know. They crumble, head loss at every single second. It's like, freaking be a bit strong, will you? You know, back your team, support them. And it's like, if you're demanding an elite manager mentality, an elite player mentality, then you freaking do it. Don't be in the stands and kind of feeding that negativity, because it gets into the players. I think you've got to be. I think you're right. I think that nervousness does get to them. And I think we can do better. It's like what you're saying. You need your fans to get behind the boys today and to kind of create this cauldron of noise and the environment. And if we go goal down, don't boo, and all of that sort of stuff. I make you right. And it is the same for the Arsenal fans. I feel like we've got to do more in our home games to kind of lift them up. Do you know what I mean?
It's tentative right now. In both camps, it's very tentative because the pressure is sky high. Dermot, I hope you have got the same mindset as me. I am not. I don't think we're safe out of the water. I will not say that until we're mathematically clear from relegation. But you know what? If there's ever a time, and I said this before earlier on in the stream, if there's ever a time that we have to all come together and, you know, maybe if we are still annoyed and angry at the board and disappointed with the club, this game can set us up to get safe, and then the banter can roll in. Then I can start throwing my shots out. Then I can start, you know, putting the pressure on you guys to win this league. Because if not, if we're safe and you guys are still not win this league, I'm onto you lot. And that's what I mean. I can't confidently say that. If we get relegated and you don't win the league, who am I laughing at? I'll look like an idiot. So yeah, I just want us to all, as a club, as a team, as a fan base, today's the day that we have to have some unison. We have to, man.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah. I mean, I'm still scarred from the Aussie years. From us, he nearly got us relegated in his first season, going away to Oldham to get a 2-1 win to stay in the Premier League. And we did lose QPR in the last game of the season 4-1. Then we nearly got relegated under Jerry Francis when Klinsmann had to come in and save us. So I'm scarred by them. I think today is the biggest North London derby in years.
Yes.
I think it's the biggest one in the generation.
I think it's bigger than the top 4 one. It's bigger than the Conte one, isn't it? When we went 3-0. Yeah.
Because I think if you think about it, just briefly on that, what you've said there, because there have been times when you've been in the ascendancy or we've been in the ascendancy. It's never been like a title shootout North London derby.
Yeah.
But right now, the impact on both of our seasons, I think I said to you the other night, like this is like on the phone, I said to you, like this is kind of like for context for both teams, regardless of where you are.
You're right.
There's a lot riding on for both teams aside from bragging rights. So
I agree. And also when you look at, I was just looking at very quickly there on Arsenal's running. You do play Man City in the League Cup final, and you do play Man City away at the Etihad. I think that League Cup final, putting aside the North London derby, which we will beat you today, me and Darius will be happy.
Sets the tone for the title run.
From every lamppost. Arsenal will be, Nick and Brenny will be in the beers crying their eyes out. But I just feel, from a footballing point of view, I feel if you lose that League Cup final against Man City, I think they've got one over you then. I feel they've got the edge.
Likewise, it will be like that for whoever. Somebody has to win it.
Yeah.
And that will be the case for whoever wins it, regardless. Not an Arsenal if we lose to City.
Yeah.
Both ways. That's just a given.
If Arteta doesn't win that League Cup final, I think the pressure's really on him then to deliver. And I don't think he's a manager that likes pressure. Forget the players, forget whatever. I think you watch him on the touchline when he's under pressure, he doesn't act normal like he would if you were winning and cruising. He doesn't react to the pressure well. And I just feel ego may get under his skin today. I think the Tottenham fans may get under his skin. But this is when you need your senior players to turn up. This is when you need a Gabriel to turn up. This is when you need senior players to say, do you know what, guys? Ignore the noise. And a bit like Romero, I don't know if you agree with me there, is that Romero has a massive point of game to play today.
Is he not suspended still?
He's suspended.
He is suspended, but I think he has a massive point to play. I think he's got
he blew that a couple of games ago.
Honestly, that guy angers me so much because
but
I put so much faith in that guy. And he's let us down so many times.
I agree, but he can go into that dressing room today and do his captain's performance.
Yeah,
I agree. And I think this is where Gabriel and the older Arsenal players have to say, "Don't what, guys, we've seen this all before. We've been here. Let's go out, block out the noise." Tottenham players have to block out the noise. Tunnel vision. Our job is to destroy Arsenal and just focus on that. Forget the banter, forget the noise, forget whatever. Go into that tunnel, head focus, and no going over to the Arsenal players and shaking their hands. If I'm in that tunnel, I'm breaking your arm if you start doing that bullshit. Sorry. You do not put your arms around an Arsenal player and say, "Good luck, mate." Fact that. It's a North London derby. You look at the players come by. Brenny, the generation we grew up in with Tony Adams and Gary Mabbott, you wouldn't see them doing that as captains, shaking each other's hands. For you, there is probably like Ledley King or players like that wouldn't do that, and wouldn't do that with a Patrick Vieira. Your
100%,
era is
100%.
And do you know what? It's got to go out. But I hate is cuddling before games. You're going out to war. It's a battle.
I get it. I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
Too much on the line.
Never used to see that before, And
I do agree with your cousin here, by the way. I'm clutching and wishing.
You are. I was going to say the biggest impact he could have been was on the pitch. Not.
But even then, Nick, the impact on the pitch seems like it's red cards at the moment for this guy. So you know what?
He noticed. I was hoping he wouldn't notice, but he did. Damn.
I you know what? I can't. I just hope. I hope there's not an episode. I hope there's not a doctor's appointment. I hope there's just a bit of fight. I'm coming here with confidence. If you ask my dad, you ask anybody, you ask people who know that I support Tottenham, and I do love Tottenham with all my heart, but I'm not the most optimistic and I'm not the most blind fan, should I say. I know a lot of friends who are Tottenham fans who will still support the club because they love the club. I will look at it and think if there is a dire situation that we're walking into, I will highlight that and I'll let people know. But I don't often say this. I do think mentality wise, it's going to be matched today. I don't look at Arsenal with same confidence that they had against us going into the game before. It's going to be different. It'll be interesting. The lineups will be the big thing that first of all sort of opens my eyes to how it's going to go. If Saka starts as a 10, don't know, I think Saka will probably start on a. If I was Arteta, I would start Eze, and I would start Saka on the right. Nani, I do think it probably will be Nani and Saka in the 10s. So again, little things like that. Solanke, I believe, is back, Dermot, isn't he, from his illness?
Yeah.
But the majority of our players who are out are still out. So I just will be interested to see what players start and what positions. But from an Arsenal point of view, the Eze-Saka conundrum, if you want to call it that, will be probably the first eye-opener for me to see what happens. And then second of all, it will be that first 5 minutes, like I said. If the first 5 minutes is anything like I've seen Tottenham start games in the first, Chelsea, Arsenal, previously in the past, other teams as well, it'll be interesting. So I'll be interested to see what predictions are and what people think the score is going to be, because I don't know at the moment. I can't think.
That's how we're going to wrap it up right there with the score predictions. So yeah, exactly that. No, I've never seen that before. Shake their hands, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Adams threatened. Who is it? It was Lee Dixon. Lee Dixon's first North London derby. It was 88-89 season. We won 3-2 there at White Hart
Yeah,
Lane,
only
and
because Lee
he.
Dixon took his bottle of beer away from him. That's why he threatened him. Sorry if that's a bit low. I do apologise, but I couldn't help it.
It's all right. We did the double over you that season, anyhow. And we did win the league in '89. So yeah, you know,
Look at
good
these
old
Arsenal
memories.
fans.
There's
Just
always
keep
that,
going
isn't
back.
there?
It's all the same. It's what they did in the past. We did the double over. Yeah, who stopped you
But
doing the double in '91? Do you
It's ended
remember?
up being
Who
history.
beat you at Wembley? Do you remember? Do you remember a
Now
certain
you're
team
now
stopped
you're
you
going
doing the
back on
double?
history now.
You're going there, are you? You're going there.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He's
well,
going back there. 91.
Well, at least
And then
it's the
we
90s.
avenged them
It's
2
better than
years
going
later.
back to the 80s.
We avenged them 2 years
Kept it
later. You know what I
clean.
mean? You know, we avenged them 2 years later. That was beautiful. Even though we played so
Yeah.
crap.
You
that
had
day.
a dodgy manager with a brown paper bag behind his back. I
Oh,
know
he was
he
a
comes to
legend,
us
man.
and won us.
He
To be fair,
he won a League Cup and then tried to destroy you. What a
Slip me
man!
under.
yeah,
What a
but
man!
no. To be fair,
What a man.
he's better than
What a
Terry Neal. If people remember Terry Neal, who
Yeah,
managed both clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, Terry Neal was agent 003
yeah.
quarters.
Terry Neal, he got us, and I know he got us the 4 cup finals. We only won one of them.
And he got
And
us
then
relegated.
and then I think in '83 they had all the fans that they walked out to Highbury in protest to get him out, and fan power got him out the club. Yeah,
Rich.
so yeah,
Telling you.
you know what I mean. So, but anyhow, what we'll do is score predictions. Lads, what are you going with today? Darius, I'll ask you first.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with what I said to various group chats, various friends. I'm not gonna switch because I'm on camera and I'm live on YouTube, and this is gonna get clipped. And if it comes back to bite me on my ass, it's what it is, mate. I'm gonna go Tottenham 2-1. I'm confident. I've said I was confident. It does really, really depend on the first goal. I think if we get the first goal, we can easily retaliate. If you do sort of, I think it'll be like a 1-0, 1-1, 2-1 sort of situation. I don't think we'll take a 2-goal lead. If you score first, obviously we can still win 2-1, but I wouldn't be as confident to trust Tottenham to get back from that. So I'm going to go with a 2-1. I think we will score first. I think we will score early as well. And just hopefully, like I said, the performance, it doesn't have to match the result if the result is a win or a draw. I will admit that. I don't really care how we win this game.
3 points, pragmatic. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I want to see fight. I think the fight is a given. That has to be, regardless of a result, at least apparent and visible to us as fans. And again, like I said, if you can get a result, any way necessary. But yeah, the fight is the main thing for me. Fans as well just have to still support your club. And again, it's hard. It's been a rough season, but we have to be there for those players. They're going to be the ones that are going to save us from the embarrassment of being relegated. So we just have to be there to support them. I am confident. I'm going to say 2-1, and we'll come back to this. If you want to do a review of the game, we can come back to this and we can discuss it, because this is the first time in a long time I've been confident. So yeah, 2-1 Tottenham. If you want goal scorers, I think Solanke will get on the score sheet. And I also will probably throw in a Van de Ven. Maisie run into the box and picks up a pass or something like that. Something crazy like that. So I'll go with Solanke and Van de Ven.
Okay. Dermatron.
Right. Do you want a sensible one or do you want a delusional one?
I want delusional.
Yeah, well, I've already put it into the Champions League group chat. Arteta crying onto a player.
I've seen it. Nick has probably seen it as well.
Yeah, Tottenham 5, Arsenal 0. A mate of mine just WhatsApped me, right? He just said Arsenal will go 4-0 up in 20 minutes and Tottenham
This
will
is why
score
you
5
shouldn't
late
drink
on.
before on camera, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not support the decisions and choices made by Dermot. That is his own opinion.
Nick, you know what that is, don't you? You know what that is,
Sure.
isn't it? It's Dermot's playing. He's playing FIFA, but he's playing he's playing a computer on the easiest mode.
On amateur. He's playing on amateur.
Do you want my score prediction now, or do you want the normal?
Here I am playing it on legendary. Yeah,
I am. Yeah,
give us your real one.
2-0. 2-0 Spurs.
2-0. Clean sheet, Dermot.
Oh,
Clean
What's
sheet.
that?
Ooh, I'll
And
be so happy with
Declan
clean
Rice,
sheet.
I will mention his name once in my lifetime. He will get sent off today.
Oh, that'll make me happy.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
Peter
cool.
Banks is the referee, so anything could happen
Anything's
with
possible.
that idiot.
Yeah. Let's face
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean that fella doesn't know the rules of the game at all. He runs around like a balloon.
Yeah, but that's most
What
referees
happened?
now, isn't it?
VAR, please tell me what's happening. Oh, I've got to send an Arsenal player off. Where's Romero?
That's
I can't see him. Right,
most referees. But Nick, what about yourself?
go on, Nick. Go for a Tottenham win.
I'm going for 3-2 Arsenal. I just see it as being a bit of a crazy game. I really do. I don't know whether it's going to be 1-0 Tottenham. We come back. You know, it's just one of those games that is just, we go 3-1, they pull one back. I see Solanke getting on there. Could be Xavi Simons. Could pop up with one. I feel like both defenses can get got at in this game, and that's why I'm going for it. I just hope, genuinely, that whatever the winner, it is a moment of quality and not a mistake. I don't want, for either team, it's that I don't want us to win it off the back of a slip up or something like that. You take whatever you're given, don't get me wrong, but I'd like a moment of quality to win it because it always counts. You know, it always makes it feel that little bit better. But 3-2 for me.
Sorry.
Well, do you know what? In the last hour and a bit, right? I've had a huge change of heart because the last few days I was just saying 1-1, but now with the fact that City won yesterday, and players that Tottenham have missing as well, I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal now, and I feel we'll take the lead. I feel Tottenham will equalise, but I think it'll be on us. We'll probably just lose the ball in our own half because we like to keep the ball in our own half for like 5 minutes. I'm sure you'll see a bit of that today. Sideways passing, we'll lose possession. Tottenham will score. That's why I'm not confident of a clean sheet today. And then we'll somehow score from a. We won't score from a set piece because actually goals we've scored recently have been from open play. So I'm going with 2-1. Yeah, got to win today. Richie's going with 2-0 clean sheet. FC 77's going with 2-1. Gyökeres and Trossard to score. Your goal will probably be an own goal. Yeah, too young for 91. I do remember 93 and 2000. Oh yeah, 2001 FA Cup semi-finals. Yeah, the FA Cup. That was a good game. That was a good game. Wasn't that Sol Campbell's last game?
Who?
I think it was last game.
Oh, he stuck it in there. He stuck it in there.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You mean the player that doesn't take responsibility for his actions?
What do you mean?
He
went across the road. He went across the road and won some trophies. No big deal.
He went across the road because they offered him a bong. They said, "Here's a brown paper bag. Take it, mate." I mean, Alan Sugar knew what he was doing. He said, "He's going to be no good for Tottenham. We'll just get rid of him." Alan Sugar knew what he was doing.
Dear.
That was smart
One
move.
of us has got to score a corner today, right? Because we're the two best teams in the Prem at corners.
Yeah, weird, isn't it? Oh, dear.
Why did you have to bring him up, Brenny? Seriously.
What's that?
Did you have to go that low?
Oh, you're lucky.
Seriously.
A ray of sunshine, Sol.
Yeah. You see, because I love you guys, right? I wasn't going to go with Sol Campbell in the background with the league and FA Cup. That's why I went with Rocky. And Dermot will know why I've gone with Rocky in the background. Because what did Rocky do in 1987?
Yeah.
Oh, good old last minute goal.
Yeah.
Good old days.
I wish I was a supporter in the 2000s. I wouldn't have these memories of the 80s and 90s, you know.
2000s were worse, I think.
Yeah.
Weren't they?
Yeah, you're on mute.
I was gonna say you wouldn't have many memories at all either, Dermot, mate. So it's not all happy and sunshine, to be honest with you.
No.
But you know,
listen, I remember us
exactly,
winning
Luke.
trophies, winning UEFA Cups in '84 when Arsenal were floundering, winning 2 FA Cups in 2 years when Arsenal was sort of down there, dawdling around in the lower part of the league.
Luke's gone with a 2-1 win.
We stopped you doing the double in '91 from that fantastic free kick by Gaza. You know, we sent you on the bottling regime that you've been on. that started under Conte. The Arteta bottle started that night at White Hart Lane, and it's continued onto this day, and it will continue as well till he's sacked.
Oh,
Arsenal will
okay.
not be known as a North London team; they've just been known as a team of
You've been
bottlers.
discussing
Always have
relegation.
been.
He's coming
Always
out.
have
But
We're just
The
putting
shame is nowhere when it comes to us, guys.
front and Brighton.
Yeah.
Seriously.
we have no shame
We
whatsoever.
have no
We're-
shame.
no.
Yeah.
We
Don't
can
Well,
be
listen, I-
relegated.
I'm solely behind you, mate.
No shame.
We're sorry
Well,
to
look, well-
bust your bubble. Like, I'm sorry you think
Yeah.
that we have standards. We
Yeah,
don't.
I was gonna say.
Well,
They need you in the
I'll tell you
dressing
what.
room. You
Yeah,
could make them believe anything.
telling you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you
You know,
what.
I go into the Arsenal dressing room, right? And my words of advice would
Mm.
place her. If you don't win today, lads, there's a good nightclub up in Soho. I'm taking you afterwards. All on me. You see the Arsenal players, right, lads? Yeah, we know what I'm going to do today.
Yeah, they got some nice Chinese restaurants up there.
Yeah, I did work on the Emirates Stadium, by the way,
Yeah, I know you
Sadly.
did. You tried to sabotage
For
it,
about-
really. That's why I heard.
for 4 years. And there was a funny story very quickly about that. I know we all got to go, but very quickly.
Mm.
They used to send private police officers around the stadium or security officers to stop Tottenham fans writing on the wall anti-Arsenal slogan. That's true.
Wow.
And this is true. They used to go around. So what we used to do was we used to wait till about 5:30 at evening when they go home and start writing in the corners. Little, come on, you Spurs. If you walk around that stadium behind the paint or area, there's little come on, you Spurs and Tottenham stickers and everything. It is so funny.
Ingrained.
Tottenham is ingrained in that stadium. It is. You know,
It's just,
yeah.
you're just
It was
legend,
a
man.
great place to work on. The crack was great there. The atmosphere was good. We used to see
Mm.
Henri and Wenger sort of every week. And I have to say, hand up, hand on heart, Thierry Henry is probably one of the nicest people you'll ever wish to meet.
Mm.
He would actually come over. I used to wear my Spurs shirt there every week. Like, he'd come over to me and have the banter with you.
Yeah.
See, what are you doing working on here? So I'm trying to sabotage the stadium. Well, done sabotage the goal. He says, I need to score. But he was such a lovely fella. Like, Wenger was a bit up his own backside.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
Thierry Henry, I know he knocked us out of the World Cup with his hand to cheek, son of a French goat. But apart from that, he's a really nice fella. He really was.
Yeah.
He's one of the people, like, I have to give him credit. Credit's due. He really was.
He understood the North London derby. I mean,
Oh, he did.
he treated it like
Yeah.
he was just a boy who was just from down the road,
Yeah, he did.
just around the corner from Highbury, you know. And yeah,
So did Patrick Vieira, to be fair to him. as
Yeah.
yeah,
well.
he did.
A lot of them
All-
French lads did actually.
They all did. All of them. You know, Carnu as well, Freddie Ljungberg. You know, they all knew what it meant. Colin
They'll all be
Touré.
watching today.
Yeah, they will be. You know,
Because they got
Lauren
it
as
from
well.
their
Lauren as
managers.
well. Yeah,
They
Lauren
got,
as
it
well.
from, they got it from their managers. The managers of both clubs got it over the
Yeah.
years.
They did.
You think about a George Graham or a Terry Venables or
Mm.
managers even up to Jerry Francis or into the 2000s, Glenn Hoddle or Harry Redknapp. They got it. They knew what
Yeah.
it meant.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
ever-
Thomas
have
Frank
you
knew
ever
what it
seen,
meant. He was an Arsenal
um,
fan anyway, so we
Yeah.
know who he was going to be supporting today.
Mm.
Have you ever seen David Dean talk about Patrick Vieira when
Yeah.
he first joined? And he
Yeah.
goes, he turns
Yeah.
around and he said to Patrick, he goes in there and he goes, "Have you been learning any English?" And he's like, basically paraphrasing. And he's like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, because obviously he's been told the importance of all of this with Tony Adams and all the rest of it. And he goes, "Okay, Patrick, tell me, what can you say?" And he goes, "Tottenham are shit." You know? And that was his English phrase that he had been taught by the English boys. It was just like, that's all you need
It
to
was
know
like-
here.
Rafael van der Vaart was like that. He got what
Yeah.
it meant. He got
Yeah,
what
he
North
did.
London
He did.
Derby meant.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
he
Um,
played well in
I-
North London derbies. He did. Jeez.
God could we do with him now?
Yeah. But listen, gents though, no, this has been educational. Really
Thank
appreciate you all coming
Great
on.
fun. Great fun.
Darius, coming on
Thanks,
for your debut, and you know, Darius, you know, you're more than welcome to come back on here again, and your dad as well. You know, because he hasn't
Anytime.
made his debut yet. You know what I mean? So yeah. But
Well, you will always wave our white flag in terms of Tottenham and not surrendering. But yeah, no, I honestly, thank you so much. Had good talk, and you know what? It's always fun as well when you've got a bit of knowledge in the group in the stream, and you don't always just sort of think with the hat on of your club. We've actually had, I think, genuine discussions and you know,
agree.
Positive and also sort of insightful discussions about each club. And as much as I do absolutely despise your club, you know, it's interesting to see from your perspective. You say, "Oh, graffiti been done in the toilet, boy. You're funny, chopper." But no, I think it's good to see from you guys' perspective how you're feeling and sort of what your mentality is going into the game. And Dermot, it's always good to hear from another Tottenham fan, sort of how you're feeling as well. Man. So yeah, no, great fun, and would love to be back on in the near future.
Yeah. Oh, big nut, always. And where can we find you anyhow?
To be honest with you, we have PRTV Spurs, which is our YouTube channel. We aren't really as active as we were, but you know, I've not been on X for a long time. If you do want to follow me, I can't promise I'll be tweeting back or tweeting at this current stage with the situation at Tottenham. But it's the same name that I've got here, Darius 3K. But yeah, by all means, I'd rather just shout you guys out and get as many people liking and subscribing to your guys' channel, because you guys are, you know, insightful guys who know ball. You know, I like to talk with people who actually know how to discuss football and not just always have the tribal side of things. So yeah, just everybody, if I have the time to spend, subscribe to Dermot's channel and subscribe to you guys' channel, and you know, I look forward to being on hopefully some future videos.
Well, I'll tell you what you could do, what we'll do for you as well, because I want to enlarge the group. What I'll do is I'll send it to your dad, and then you can get into our Champions League group that we're all in as well. So I'll make sure I'll make sure I add you and say, even if we lose, I'll still add you in. Don't worry, it's still good.
Sounds good. I'll be there. Don't worry, I'll be there.
Oh, big up, man, big up. Dermot, where can they find you? And before you say, I would love to join you later on and you watch along. If you can send me a link, please. No
problem. I'll get you on before the game, on a half time, and then full time as well, Nick. If you're available, Fantastic. I'll do the same to you. I'm doing sort of new the watch along now. I'm doing the more central because I was doing a Tottenham. What watch along was doing? I was doing a Tottenham Manchester United watch along, and apparently called Romero or something. Ed. It starts with a B, and it got picked up by one of these channels that do reactions to when something happens. No. And I watched it, and it was like the build up to me saying it. Right, it was building up. I got sent off. Oh, Romero, you absolute beep 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 beep. And then I went beep. And then a Man United fan sent it to me, and he fell off his chair. I could hear him falling off his chair laughing. I went, no. If you like what I have to say, you want a bit of pumping today because it is all about Tottenham. We are the kings of White Hart Lane. We are the kings of North London. It always will be. If you want a bit of delusion and a bit of sensible chat as well, come over to THFC Till We Die. We're on the march for 3K. We've had a massive boost since October last year. We've really grown. I'm so humbled by it and so sort of, I can't why people come to watch me, but I'm grateful. I don't see it, but thank you very much. Yeah, and do get over to these guys and do get over to Darius' channel as well. I used to love what you used to go on Dave's, didn't you? Back a bit about, and I did enjoy you going on there. So get back YouTubing because you're very good.
I miss Dave and Jack.
Yeah, you are. You're very good. You're fantastic
at what you do. So get back YouTubing. You're a big miss to the Spurs community, and I'm sure we will come here when it comes to Champions League. When Arsenal
I will be my should I call them Twitter fingers will be ready in case of any
Champions League
today.
Is good. We need to do more of them because it's a good group of us that come on.
When Arsenal get knocked out and Tottenham reach the quarterfinal and when we win the thing. I mean, it would be so Spursy to get relegated but win the Champions League.
It would be
the ultimate Spursy. I mean, nothing could beat
club playing in the Champions League.
It's preposterous.
And Man City winning the league. Come on, Pep. Do it for us, Tottenham boys.
Oh, bless. So, Nick, where can they find you, man?
Well, thank you. I just want to echo what Darius has said because lovely talking football. There's too much in the football verse of people just being rude to each other, shouting at each other, looking for clicks and all of that sort of stuff. It's nice to have a decent, mature conversation and a bit of gentle banter with people talking the sport we love. So appreciate you guys. You can find me on the Football Takeover. You can find me on the Brenny 74K, about Arsenal above all. Basically, whenever on THFC Till We Die, anyone that needs a gooner, you just kind of put my name out there somewhere in
Are
WhatsApp.
you rent a gooner then? Is that what
I
you are?
pretty much rent a gooner. That's what I am. Yeah, you can
Are
find my
you
card in
available for the
telephone
World Cup?
boxes.
Are you available for the World Cup? Are you a Renton England fan for the World Cup?
Oh, that would be a good one, wouldn't it? Well, we've done that before.
Do you know
I think my
what?
boy might want to get in on that on some watch-alongs. That would be a good thing to do, I think.
You're right, though.
It will be called a bant-along. I mean, you would do
like
the watch-along. I'd just be bantering you the whole game, saying how crap you are.
That's okay. We'll be saying it too.
You know what?
That's so true. I was going to say that's so true.
But you're
You
right,
never know.
though.
We might get there.
Yeah.
If we win our playoff games, we will get there.
But Nick is, but you know what, Dermot, you're right. Nick is definitely Rent-A-Gooner. I mean,
He is
he's
Rent a
Nick,
Gooner,
he's Nick Claypole. You know what I mean? So,
Do you know the Ghostbusters theme tune? We should change it to if you need somebody rent a gooner, have Nick's face come up on the video.
Sorry, Darius. That remark that was it was from a Mr. Claypole. There was a show called Rent-A-Ghost in the 70s and the 80s.
Oh
a kid
God,
show.
yeah.
And
I remember that.
because he said basically Rent-A-Ghost, Rent-A-Gooner, you had Mr. Claypole. He was one of the spooks, the ghosts.
Yeah.
One of the ghosts.
Way over my head. Way over my head.
That's who he is.
Oh, your dad know about. Your dad know about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Either
Rent-A-Ghost.
that or was Nick Trigger out of Dale Ollie Fools and Horses with his broom.
I mean, there's no need to go there, is there? I mean, that's just
Trigger.
now. I have had a broom for 27 years, and it has got 30 handles and 24 heads. But, you know.
Yeah, and both of you are D. He's going to start calling you Dave in a minute. But listen, big up yourselves, and thank you everyone for tuning in the chat as well. Big up yourselves as well. It's been fantastic, and all I will end on. Come on, you Gunners!
We'll give him two of them.
Take care, everyone.
My name ain't Dave, it's Dermot. Why do you call me Dave? Come on, you Spurs.
Brenny's left.
He's off.
Saying we're
He's
still
off.
live. He's
Honestly,
just gone.
But we're still live. Right, we're playing now.
He's just gone. He's just gone.
Should we just kind of like wheel out? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Should we
just
like?
yeah,
Come
just
on,
hang
I'm gonna
Brenny,
go up
what
to
have you
it.
done? What have you done, Bren? Right. Take care.
Right. We're still live though.
We could say anything. So if you want to buy,
if you want to rent a gooner, please rent this man next to me. He's available for 50 pence an hour. €1 if you want more. If you want a gooner experience of a lifetime.
So if we all just leave, what's going to be streamed?
A blank screen. Brenny, come back and end the stream, will you, bud?
Brenny, come back. Oh my gosh!
Lord.
Right. Well, I'm going to leave the
send
blank screen because it's just awkward. So you know,
I know.
Thank you for watching, everyone. For the Brenny
Thanks for
74K
watching. It's been a great show. Brenny, will you come back? Because somebody messaged him actually.
Do you know what? This is an Arsenal channel, and I'm going to exit stage now and leave a Tottenham fan solo.
I'm going to exit first. See ya. Bye.
No.